Welcome to the Onyx Path News with me, Matthew Dawkins, or the Gentleman Gamer if you prefer. This episode is going to be substantially more succinct than the previous video, and that's because if we try to aim to do these news videos weekly, they shouldn't be so bloated. They should be more digestible. But if you prefer the lengthy bumper news video, do state in the comments below. I'm always interested to hear your opinions. This week's new releases are something slightly different, because we're focusing on Indie Press Revolution, or IPR. If you've never heard of IPR, they are an online retailer that stocks the deluxe and prestige copies of our games. So if you happen to miss a Kickstarter or back a kit for a game that particularly interested you, and you think, damn, I've missed my opportunity to get a deluxe or prestige copy of this game, then worry no longer, because Indie Press Revolution stocks our deluxe and prestige copies of games. So you may have felt like you missed the boat, but you didn't. You can still go on IPR, you can still order, for instance, a deluxe Beckett's Jihad Diary, a deluxe Changeling the Dreaming 20th Anniversary Edition, a prestige copy of Beast the Primordial, prestige copy of Dark Eras for Chronicles of Darkness. You can still order a prestige copy of Changeling the Lost 2nd Edition, and there is even Changeling the Dreaming 20th Anniversary Edition dice available on there. So if you love your themed dice, and they are beautiful dice as well, go on IPR, the link is below, and you will be able to find where to buy C20 dice. And the reason we're pointing this out is because a lot of people do feel that once the Kickstarter or back kit is over, that's it, they've missed their chance. Outside of a convention, they're never going to see a deluxe copy of our game. But Exalted 3rd Edition is on there, the deluxe version, that heavy tome. Mage 20 is still on Indie Press Revolution 2 in its deluxe leather-bound version. So do look it up. And the next thing I want to talk about is another kind of online retailer called Studio 2 Publishing. But Studio 2 is slightly different, because while you could order from them direct, the purpose of Studio 2 is mainly to act as a distributor to friendly local game stores. And friendly local game stores may be of the opinion they can't order our games because we sell everything on DriveThruRPG, and that isn't the case. You can order a whole bunch of our games via Studio 2. All they have to do is get in touch with their distributor. Let's say they used Devium, so that would be Asmodee now. Asmodee can order from Studio 2, and as long as our products are available, they can order them. It's as simple as that. So if you have a friendly local game store and they don't stock our games and you don't feel like they ever will, by all means speak to them and say, would it be possible for you to order in X game? And they should be able to get in touch with their distributor, and more likely than not they will have a link to Studio 2 Publishing, because they are a massive distribution company in North America. They have a lot of reach, and to the point that they can distribute to companies outside of North America too. So, other than that, let's talk again about Kickstarter. I know I mentioned this in last week's video, but Lunars for Exalted 3rd Edition is coming up on February the 12th. And this Kickstarter is one that excites me, because although Exalted is a game I've struggled to get into, Lunars next to Dragonblooded are my favourite splat for Exalted. I do love a bit of shapeshifting, I love a bit of rage, a little bit of savage combat, and you get all of that with Lunars. And frankly, the art for this book that's coming in is wonderful, sublime to see. Now, one thing Onyx Path do with all Kickstarters now, and Lunars is going to be no exception, is having the manuscript available to the backers during the course of the Kickstarter. So if you're on the fence, or if you frankly just want to start using the content before the book is released, that's absolutely fine. All you need to do is back at the lowest level, and you can still access the manuscript as the Kickstarter goes on, and choose to up or reduce, God forbid, your pledge by the end of it. There will be a lot of exciting pledge levels for Lunars, but I anticipate there being a lot of very interesting stretch goals too, and I have no doubt this book will do well on Kickstarter. Exalted fans tend to be quite excitable, and all fairness to them, their books are beautiful and the game is fantastic. It's much loved, and I have no doubt Lunars is going to be very popular indeed. I know I mentioned backer kits quite frequently in these videos, but I'm just going to linger on it a little to talk about Scion. Now, if you're familiar with the fact that I'm running Tokyo Noir, my Scion Origins game, the recaps are on this channel, you will know also that Scion is very nearly finished. The indexes for both Scion Origin and Hero have been completed, which means they just need to be laid out, incorporated into the text. And what happens next? Well, not long after that, those books will go on sale. Not long. What does that mean? Well, if you were intending on pre-ordering Scion via BackerKit, which you can do at time of recording and broadcast, that option will not be there for much longer. You'll be able to order it via normal retail, via your friendly local game store, via a bookstore even, or on DriveThruRPG or Indie Press Revolution. But if you were intending on pre-ordering and being one of the first people to get a copy of the book, then that chance will soon slip by. So if you're still interested, go on BackerKit, and you can still order Scion via that platform. Something I would like to talk about briefly, and it's in the vein of our media, is if you're unfamiliar with the Onyx Pathcast, and that's our weekly podcast, myself, Dixie Cochran and Eddie Webb, with 3 in-house developers at Onyx Path Publishing. We talk about our games, we talk about the games we're playing, the games we're running, our experiences, the things we love, the things we dislike about some of the games we work on. Then please do check out the Onyx Pathcast. The reason I point it out is because last week we did a very well received deep dive into Wraith the Oblivion. Now, Wraith the Oblivion is one of my favourite World of Darkness games, probably my favourite World of Darkness game, and I've received a lot of feedback from that podcast alone saying this has made me reappraise Wraith and want to give it a go. So, if you've not checked that episode out, please do give it a listen. Additionally, Red Moon Roleplaying have uploaded episode 2 of the They Came From Beneath the Sea actual play that they're currently playing. I'm running it. It's called Terror at Makeout Point. It's the more horrific version of They Came From Beneath the Sea. Infinitely more Lovecraftian. Each player is essentially a Great Old One. Each of the characters is essentially a vessel for that Great Old One, and the funny quips and cinematics are more along the lines of guttural chants and Great Old Ones interfering with the fabric of reality. So do look up redmoonroleplaying.com and look at their podcast section if you prefer to listen, or look for the video on our channel where you can find the footage. There's something else we need to talk about, and it's community content. Community content is always very exciting for us. We, of course, support the Storyteller's Vault, we support Canis Minor, we support the Sluresian Vault as well for Scarred Lands. And there's a couple of products I wanted to highlight. These aren't brand new, but they are, again, products that are going down very well. So for the Scarred Lands community content program, the Sluresian Vault, we have the Game Master Companion and Adventures. This is by Travis Legg, a frequent writer of ours who has contributed a heck of a lot to the community content programs. And this is an excellent book that will help anyone who is looking to run a game in Scarred Lands. It's chock full of information, beautiful art in there too, and it's at a very low price. At the time of recording, £3.75 in British money. So in American money, I couldn't tell you how much that is. Probably around $5. So do check that out. The Game Master Companion and Adventures. Now, here's a much smaller one for Canis Minor. You have The Unseer by Alex Klippinger. The Unseer is simply a class for your game of Pugmire. It is a character, almost like a diviner type, who is able to interact more and manipulate the unseen, those demonic hidden forces that exist within the realms of Pugmire. It's very cheap. Again, 95 pence in British money. I imagine that's about $1.50. Maybe even lower in American money. So, again, worth looking at if you're looking to expand your roster of callings for Pugmire. Final thing for this episode is Discord. If you are the kind of person that loves to interact with other fans and the creators of these games on a platform that isn't a forum and isn't Facebook, our Discord, the official Onyx Path Publishing Discord, is linked in the description below. You can click on that, join our Discord channel. We have sub-channels for every single game. You can speak to other fans just like you, organise games, and of course speak to the writers and developers of those games. We invite you to do so and look forward to seeing you there. So that's it for episode 3. Thank you very much for watching.